Hi, I'm Amanda. I work at a addiction rehab treatment center, and I'm a social worker there. And I'm meeting with Cameron today. All I know about him is he is about a 40-year-old man who is coming to us with concerns about having an alcohol problem. So the goals of this interview is to see to get to know Cameron and maybe get an idea of some of the long-term and short-term goals that he has for himself. Hi, Cameron.
Hi.
I'm Amanda. I'm a social worker here at the Addiction Rehab Treatment Center. So what we do at this center is we meet with people who think that they have addictions to any kind of substances, and we work with them to see what we can do to help them learn how to live a more sober lifestyle. So before we get down to all that kind of work, I just wanted to really get to know you. So can you tell me a little bit about what brought you here today?
Yeah. Well, I'd always had a good handle over my drinking. I mean, I drank a lot when I was in high school, just went out and partied, and up into the first year or two of college. But then I dropped out because I, went out and partied too much, and now I'm here working construction, and it's just, I don't know. It was a fairly recent job change, and I don't really know what else to say. I mean, I started going out more with some of the guys when I was getting acclimated to my new career, and it started getting worse and worse. I mean, I never thought that I had as much of a problem. I mean, I used to drink, a little bit, once or twice a week, but it never really hurt my relationship with my wife or my two kids until recently, about the past year or so. It's been really, it's really starting to get out of control.
How do you think that your drinking is affecting your family? You said your wife and kids. So what is it that really you think is affecting your family?
Well, I would say that it's just starting to consume more and more of my time, and I'm getting into more and more fights with my wife about it. I mean, it used to be that maybe I would bring home just a case on the weekend, and maybe that would last me for most of the week, maybe. I'd go through it all, until it would last until the next weekend, next Friday, and I'd get a new one. And now it just seems to be that it consumes my thoughts every day when I'm working, when I get out of work, and it's the only thing that I really want to do when I get home. And I feel like it's affecting my family because I'm alienating everybody. My wife and I are recently separated. She decided she had had enough, so that definitely is disruptive. And I lost my job, and I just recently moved in with my mother, and I just realized that I needed to make a change because it's starting to get too serious.
Yeah. So it sounds like you've really got a lot of things kind of going on that are really kind of bringing you down right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you think that the drinking has affected your relationship with your wife? You said you're just separated, but can you kind of tell me more about that?
Well, before, I mean, our relationship wasn't perfect, but we did well. I mean, we met, we met in high school and separated when I went to college, and then when I dropped out, I just came back here and found out that she wasn't doing, that she was still in town, and we just kind of got back together and kind of just made it work. We were together for about, we've been together for about 3 years, and for 2 of those years, I mean, everything was doing okay. I was kind of moving from job to job, trying to find something, and that was really stressful. So we'd sometimes have issues with that. And then I thought everything was going to be better once I found this, a way to get into this construction job, because it seemed steady and the pay was a lot better. And it's just, I really thought things were going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And they just got worse and worse because of the drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And our daughter is also starting to get old enough where she's going to remember things like this. She's 3.
Mm-hmm.
We had her very soon after I moved back here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it's straining everything. Everything's getting pulled apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish that I could care more about it, but the only thing that really consumes most of my time is just thinking about the next time I'm going to drink and what I'm going to drink and
Mm-hmm.
how much, and to see if I can drink more and more and more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you say you wish you can care more about it, but the fact that you're here, getting help, it does show that you care and you do want to make a change, not just for yourself, but for your family as well.
Mm-hmm.
You said you have a 3-year-old daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that relationship? I know she's young, but have you guys been able to spend time together, or has the separation kind of gotten in the way?
As of right now, I am not allowed to go near
Mm-hmm.
her. I'm not allowed to see her. I'm hoping that if I can sober up, I can change that. I mean, the fact that I lost my visitation, or, the fact that I lost my ability to see her and have her be a part of my life and be a part of her life is definitely was my, I don't know, what's the term, a come to Jesus moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, our relationship was okay. I would come home from whatever work I was doing and play with her and, try to see what I could do to help out around the house, like to change her, feed her, or do anything, because my wife quit her job to take care of her. So I was the sole person working in the house. And I mean, that really hurt things too, because it was just me trying to keep us afloat financially.
It must have been pretty stressful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That definitely sounds tough. I can understand, how it does cause a lot of stress. Do you think that that's one of the reasons why you maybe, tend to go out and drink more so than come home? Is it kind of like you're not really sure how you should be handling that situation, or?
I suppose, if I understand your question correctly, I mean, there was definitely a lot of stress in my life, and I think that I probably turned to drinking more than I normally do, just to drink more and more to try to cope with it. And I remember when I got first got my job, the construction job, and I thought that I finally found a place where I could do some real work and make some pretty good money, and the guys that I worked with were great. I mean, we talked about all sorts of sports, and they were just a lot of fun, and they went out all the time, and they invited me, and it was nice to have something to do after work just for me. But then it really started getting in the way, and then I started trying to fit in drinking if we, on days when we didn't go out. And I don't know, it's just spiraled out of control from there.
So when you would go out with your friends, was drinking kind of the main event for that?
Yeah, it was always to go out to go out to a bar or some sort of club or whatever. But yeah, I would say that was always the main focus, was to go out, to go drinking.
And if I may be remembering incorrectly, but I think in the beginning, when we first met, you said that the drinking was sort of something you've always been doing since high school. Was there any kind of other activities that you like to do, or is drinking sort of like your main way of socializing?
Yeah, now that I think about it, it was usually always in a social setting. I never really drank alone until about a little over a year ago. And I don't know, like, I always thought I had a good handle over it. I think it's just the stress of everything just started to pile up, and I was looking for an out to try to cope with everything.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, it definitely sounds like it's kind of your way of coping now, your way of sort of dealing with the problem and not exactly facing it, because it can be scary, and stressful, especially when it affects your life in so many ways. How is it affecting your job, do you think?
Well, I'm unemployed now.
Oh, okay.
Which was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back with my wife. So which is why she left me. I started to come to work drunk, and I started to make mistakes at work, and my supervisor talked to me about it. My friends stopped inviting me to go out with them because I was just getting too hammered, too embarrassing to be around. And I just was alienating everybody with my drinking. And then finally, when I almost hit somebody with a piece of the equipment, that was when my supervisor said that it's too far, we have to let you go. So I'm lucky I didn't hurt anybody, and I understand why I was let go. But I mean, it's still very jarring just to see how, I don't know, just to see how I was stressed, but I had everything under control, so to speak. I mean, everything wasn't perfect, but I was making ends meet, and now, I don't know.
It's scary, right?
Yeah.
When it's affecting your life so much that, not only are other people in danger, but, you're in danger as well. If you don't have a job, you can't provide for yourself, and it sounds like it's a safety issue also. So before we kind of wrap things up, if you were to think of a situation in which, you didn't have to go home and drink tonight, or even, the next day, what do you think would be like your perfect day of doing something without drinking?
Well, the one thing that I really want is I want to see my daughter and my newborn son. I want to see them, and I want to try to rebuild that relationship with them. I would like to see what I could fix with my wife. I don't know if she would ever forgive me, but I don't know, it feels like something that I should at least try to work towards. And I guess it's just rebuilding relationships is really what I want. I alienated everyone. Even my mom is so disappointed and embarrassed. And it's just, I'm ashamed.
Well, one of the ways that we do work towards getting people to live a sober lifestyle is by building support groups. So that's definitely something we're going to work on. Now, would you say that being sober is something that you would say is a long-term goal for yourself?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I always enjoyed drinking, and I don't know if this is the correct mindset to be in, but I would just like to get back to a point when I can, drink socially and not be addicted. I just want things to go back to the way it was.
Okay. Well, it's not about being correct. It's about, living the life that you want to live as long as it's healthy and it's safe for you.
Okay.
So, when we meet next time, we'll start working on that.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem.